What's up, everyone? It's DSP, and welcome to episode 2 of, I guess, what we can call Cooking with the King. I am starving. It is, as you can see right over here on my stove, 4 a.m. I have insomnia right now. I fell asleep, and I woke up about an hour ago, and I am ridiculously hungry. And I don't want to eat anything that's going to make me throw up or anything like that, you know? I don't want to eat any junk food, but I can't fall back asleep. So I'm going to make breakfast. And it makes sense. Make breakfast and maybe sleep for an hour or two, and then get up. So what am I going to make? Today I'm going to make scrambled eggs with cheese and seasoning, and I'm also going to make some sausage. Not fresh sausage. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but what they had on sale at the supermarket this week, they actually had frozen sausage. And frozen sausage, it's not the best. I mean, let me show you. It's not exactly the best thing ever, but it's still delicious if you cook it properly. Usually I nuke it, but since I'm already going to take the time to make homemade scrambled eggs, I've decided to make it in the pan as well and see if it tastes any better. And I guess this will be a good opportunity for me to judge whether or not it's worth it to make this sausage in the pan, or if I should just make it in the microwave from now on. So what are your ingredients that you need if you're going to make homemade scrambled eggs? Let me show you here. I'll run through it. You've got, first of all, a bowl. A bowl is one of the most important things. You need to beat the eggs into it. Salt and pepper. To season, you need a whisk. Now, you don't necessarily need a whisk, but you could also use a spoon or a fork, depending on how adept you are at doing this. I just use a whisk because I suck at it. Some Pam, or you don't need Pam, obviously. It's like we talked about last time when we made the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. You can use butter, but I don't have time to melt butter, so I just spray the pan with that. Milk, I use Lactaid because I'm actually half lactose intolerant. If I drink real milk or, you know, eat real cheese, a lot of the times I end up being very gassy, so Lactaid. I've got some shredded cheddar here. That'll be the cheese that we're going to put into it. Jumbo white eggs. Obviously, if you're doing this, it doesn't have to be jumbo white. It could be any kind of eggs, but as we talked about last time, I do enjoy the jumbo white. You need one frying pan for the scrambled eggs. I have another frying pan there for the sausage, which we're going to attempt. A plate to put everything on when it's done, but some foil because for the sausage, and we'll talk about this in detail, but for this sausage, basically what they're requiring you to do is they want you to, we're going to make 3 sausage, 3 links. It says to put them in the pan, put 3 tablespoons of water into the pan, and then cover the pan for about 7 minutes. So basically, let it fry in its own juices for about 7 minutes. Then uncover it, and then let the water evaporate for 2 to 4 minutes until the links turn brown. In my opinion, I think that the water is going to disappear before then, but that's just my guess. So what do I have over here? I also have tin foil, because what this is saying is you should put the sausage into a skillet with a top. Well, I don't have a skillet with a top. I'm sorry. You know, I moved in here a year ago. I'm not a culinary chef. I don't have 100 fucking pans for everything. I have a bunch of frying pans. So I'm just going to put it in there with some foil on top, and we're going to simulate a skillet with a top. And that's about it. The only thing I'm going to say is before you start, you probably wouldn't want to get a beverage, so I'm going to go get some orange juice right now, because once we start, I'm probably going to have a dry mouth, especially because I'll be talking the whole time. And the last thing you want to do is try to finish a meal in a hurry when you're thirsty, because then you're going to fuck it all up. So I'm just going to pour myself a glass of orange juice. I don't really prefer any type of orange juice over another. Sometimes I like pulp, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I like, you know, the one that's fortified with vitamins and minerals, sometimes I don't. I think today I have the calcium-enriched Florida's Natural with no pulp. Woohoo. Okay, so here we go. Let's get this bitch started. So the first thing we're going to do, before we cook anything, like I said before, you gotta turn on your fan. Last thing you want to do is start cooking without turning your stovetop fan on. If you don't have one, I recommend that obviously you find a way to aerate your kitchen. You don't want your kitchen to go up in smoke per se. and have your alarm go off, your fire alarm. That happened to me the very first time I cooked here, and I looked like an asshole. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come over here. I'm going to turn both of my frying pans onto medium heat, which is just the bottom setting. I have an electric stove, by the way. Some people asked that last time. It is electric. It's not gas. But they're pretty much the same. Turn them on medium heat. Every stove has a medium setting. We're going to go ahead and for the scrambled eggs, we're going to spray the pan with the Pam so that the eggs don't stick. Now, in preparation for what we're doing, if you read the sausage, I believe the sausage says, place links in an unheated skillet. So I already fucked up. I apologize. It's the first time I'm ever cooking this sausage. So unheated skillet. We're going to put 2 to 3 links in there. By the way, this is pre-cooked as well. It's fully cooked sausage, so it's not like I have raw meat on my hand or anything like that. Maybe we'll do 3 to 4. Let's actually we'll do 4 links. Why not? Again, it's not every day that I cook for myself and I eat like this. So 4 links, and it actually says 3 tablespoons of water. You got 1, 2, 3, and if you're a gamer, you probably have that kind of hand-eye coordination that you're not going to spill the water all over the place. If you're not, well, I can't help you. That's what you get for tweaking your whole life. You spill that shit all over between the between the sink and the stove. Alright, what is the next instruction here? It says, cover and heat over medium heat for 7 minutes, then uncover, let the water evaporate, and cook another 2 to 4 minutes, and the links will brown. So, we're going to cover this with our tin foil. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're simulating as if we were putting a top on this. So obviously it's not going to be perfect. But what we're going to do, we're going to turn it on medium heat, and then we're going to go ahead and do our timer for 7 minutes. So in 7 minutes, in 7 minutes we have to remember to remove that, and then cook it for another couple minutes till the water's gone, and then those are ready. I'm going to actually do one more thing, which I didn't do. I'm going to grab my tongs, which I used in my last video, to flip the sausage and try to make it golden brown on all sides, so I'll get that ready. So we're done with the tin foil. Alright, so now, scrambled eggs, what do you do? This is already getting very hot. Scrambled eggs, you could take 2 to 3 eggs, and what you're basically going to do is this. You're going to take these eggs, you're going to put them into a bowl, you're going to crack them into the bowl, and you're going to add a couple ingredients. So you're going to add things like milk, a little bit of milk, salt, pepper. You're going to beat these eggs, and the goal here is to try to get the eggs to look consistent. So make them look consistently yellow, make it look like a yellow goop. And once you do that, and once your pan's hot enough, which it is already, you pour that in here, and then we're basically going to fry it, and I'm going to show you how to fry the eggs properly so that they come out nice and fluffy. So, we're going to crack ourselves some eggs. There's many, shit all over this egg. It's disgusting. What the hell is that? I don't even know. But there's many methods to cracking eggs. I just give it one smash, and then I just open the egg into whatever I'm doing. Very simple. So we'll do all 3 like that. That usually prevents a mess. Sometimes it's a little bit trickier since the shell doesn't want to open. The key here with scrambled eggs, you don't want to get your eggshell pieces into your bowl. That's the last thing you want to do. If you get eggshell pieces into the bowl, it's not going to work. It's going to be disgusting. Shit. There we go. So we have 3 eggs there. We're going to go ahead, we're going to put a little bit of milk. I'm actually going to wipe off my hands because they're getting sticky. A little bit of milk. It doesn't have to be too much. Say that much right there. Get the milk back in the fridge. And that's to your liking. Some people like a lot of milk, some people like a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just season it a little bit. Put a little bit of salt in there. Put a little bit of pepper in there just to start. And now we're going to beat these eggs. Okay? Be careful. You don't want to beat them too much or else you're going to end up basically with shit all over your counter. There's no real technique to doing it. You're basically just mashing the yolks with the whisk. If you had a bigger bowl, you could do this a lot easier. But I don't have a bigger bowl. This is the only bowl I have. So all I'm doing now is I'm mashing everything and trying to make it into a consistent kind of a glob here. As you see, as I do this, it's becoming more yellow and more yellow. And it's becoming more consistent. That's basically the yolk is merging with the other ingredients to become a more consistent color. And we're almost there, actually. You can see there is some yolk separated there, which is disgusting, but what are you going to do? That's scrambled eggs. That pan is very hot. In fact, I've overheated the pan, so I'm wondering how this is going to... The eggs are probably going to cook way too fast. I'm going to lower this a little bit and give it a second, because usually I'm not cooking the sausage at the same time, so... Alright, as you can see, it's almost a perfect yellow now. It's almost a uniform yellow throughout the liquid that we have in our bowl here. So I'm just about to pour this in here. Oh, one thing you do need is a spatula. And as you saw, that was already on my stove. I apologize that I did not mention that. I hope you watch the whole video before you try to cook this, because obviously you're going to get fucked if you don't, because I'm stupid. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pour this in. Okay. Now, what do you do? Your goal is to basically make sure that none of the egg overcooks. And when I say that, I mean, this egg's going to cook very fast, surprisingly fast, actually. And you're going to say, why is it cooking so fast? It's because it's actually pretty thin. So what you do, you take your spatula, and you're going to go around the edges of the egg, and you're going to constantly just keep moving those edges in. And as you see, those edges have already started to solidify. And as those edges solidify, that's when your egg is going to start to become fluffy. Okay? Now, once you probably get your pan halfway solid is when you're going to want to start adding other ingredients. In this case, all I have is cheese. But I've had times where I've added other things like tomatoes, I've added peppers. I don't have any of that today. So I'm doing pretty basic scrambled eggs here. We're going to go ahead and add some cheese. This is just a shredded cheddar. You go ahead and sprinkle it all over. Try to get it added in there. A little bit more here. Looks like the sausage is almost done. I can hear it sizzling. So we're going to go ahead and keep doing what we're doing. As you can see, the eggs are changing consistency very rapidly. They're very fluffy now. Very different than how they had started. Which means they're almost done. Now again, just like with eggs over easy, which is basically what I used to make the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, you can have different kinds of scrambled eggs. Some people like them super fluffy, which they are right now, and you say, okay, they're super fluffy, they're a little bit runny, but they're done. Some people like them cooked a little bit more than this. I'm almost done. I actually do like my eggs a little bit runny, so I'm almost done here. A little bit more, and I'm going to call it a day. And start working on that sausage, which is almost done. Alright, so that's it. That's my pan of scrambled eggs. I'm going to go ahead and toss that on the plate over here. Just using the spatula to scrape it off. Pretty steaming hot, but it smells delicious. And now that we're down to 30 seconds, get my seasonings out of the way. Also get my cheese out of the way. I'm curious to see how our sausage did, because again, this is the first time that I'm cooking sausage like that in the pan. Usually I cook it in the microwave. I cannot tell if this cheese is sealed. It is, okay. Cheese is back. Fridge. Alright. My timer's off. Remember, once you're done with a certain thing, turn off the heat. Alright, here we go. Ooh, the sausage is frying nicely. We're going to go ahead and flip it. It is way overcooked on one side. Holy shit. If you remember, the recipe said to cook it until the water's gone. Well, the water is long gone. So obviously this was This bootleg recipe of cooking this sausage was not exactly ideal. That sausage is burnt to hell on that one side, but I'm going to cook it a little bit more to try to get it more even throughout. That kind of sucks. Man, it smells really good though. The honest truth is the sausage smells really good. I don't know if you can see it from how far it is, but it is pretty thoroughly burnt on that one fucking side. Look at that. Oops. My mistake. Woo! And everything it touches is actually starting to cook super fast. So this sausage is pretty much done. I'm just going to roll it around a little bit more. Just try to get more heat throughout. It's almost done. I have no idea. I somehow ended up with 2 plates. I didn't mean to do that. You only need 1 plate for this. This meal. Alright, so we're going to take it off. When you're done, you turn your heat off, like I said last time. Woo! Turn the burner off. And just like I recommended last time, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to immediately get those pans into the sink and get some water and get some soap into them. Ooh. A little bit of grease there from the sausage, but nowhere near as much as with that bacon that we cooked last time. Like I said last time, a little bit of soap. Basically, just get these suckers filled up with hot water and soap right off the bat, and that way they will already start to break down all of the grease and mess that's inside of them, rather than it starting to cake to the pan, which is the common mistake. Most people don't do that. They just throw the pans into the sink, not thinking about putting anything into the pans, and then all that grease gets stuck to the pans, and it ends up taking forever to clean them later on. So that's pretty much it. We're pretty much done. Put those tongs in there as well. This is used to put water in the pan. I guess I can put that back into the drawer. That's right, you need a fork to eat, don't you? So here we are. They're still steaming hot. Nice, fluffy. A little bit gooey, which I like. I like them a little bit gooey. Scrambled eggs with cheddar cheese, with a little bit of salt and pepper in there, and some links. Again, you can cook those links in the microwave because those were the fully cooked links. If I had the other, oops, shit. If I had real links, like fresh links, then we would have went through how to cook them, but I didn't have those on hand. I had bought the ones that were on sale. Those were the fully cooked. So there you have it. It's a very basic breakfast dish. You could probably cook it in about 10 to 15 minutes. It's not time consuming. And that's it for episode 2 of Cooking with the King.